Welcome to Fish MD, the show where we explore the vast cosmos of science and health-related topics. I'm Michael, I'm a medical doctor. For today's topic, we take you on a wild ride. Imagine for a second that aliens have swooped down in a UFO and abducted a human. But hold on, this isn't your typical alien abduction scenario. Get your mind out of the gutter. What these aliens will find is that they have not only picked up a human, but upon closer inspection, millions of bacteria and fungi. Yikes! In particular, we're gonna speak about a special kind of bacteria that calls our gut their home, the gut microbiome. Let's find out together how these microscopic hitchhikers help us to stay healthy, especially if they're not paying rent. And how in some cases they cause diseases. In the end, I'm going to give you 4 tips how to take care of your gut microbiome. In our guts, more than 1,000 different species of bacteria have been identified. Although on average a single person carries only about 160 different ones, which may weigh up to 2 kilograms. The next time your grandma judges your body weight, just blame it on a gut microbiome. Let's find out where this gut microbiome comes from. A newborn's gut is almost sterile. During a natural vaginal birth, when the baby passes through the birth canal, it comes in contact with the flora, the bacterial flora of the vaginal canal, which subsequently sets up tent in the baby's gut. If a baby is born via C-section, the gut microbiome is mostly determined by the bacteria living on the mother's skin or on the nurse's hands. The $1 million question is...
Question.
What do you think is better for the baby's health? You guessed correctly, the natural vaginal delivery. It has been suggested that the bacteria a baby acquires during birth will affect its gut microbiome for the rest of its life. Let's talk about the functions of the gut microbiome. One of the most important functions is the production of so-called short-chain fatty acids, which are produced from the fiber that we eat. These short-chain fatty acids are quite astonishing. They serve as an energy source for our gut lining, they have anti-cancer properties, and they also regulate our metabolism. A healthy gut microbiome is defined as a well-diversified one, meaning one that contains a lot of different species. So, what's the connection between a disrupted gut microbiome and diseases? You see, these microorganisms live in a well-controlled balance, and any disruption to this delicate balance might lead to diseases such as obesity or inflammation. There are even studies linking a disrupted gut microbiome to depression, as our gut can directly influence our brain chemistry. If overgrowth of certain bacteria is associated with disease.
Question.
Can we use this in clinical practice? Yes. In case of a special bacterial imbalance leading to diarrhea, which doesn't respond to antibiotics, doctors have the option to do a special fecal transplant. Now, before you turn up your nose and say ew, hear me out. Fecal transplantations involve taking the fecal matter of a healthy donor and transplanting it into a gut of an unhealthy person. The idea behind this is that the bacteria from the healthy donor will restore the imbalances in the unhealthy person. It may sound gross, but it is a highly effective treatment in the infection for so-called Clostridium infections and works in 80 to 90% of cases. And if you're wondering how exactly the fecal matter is transplanted, don't worry, it's not as gross as you may think. The feces are inserted into the patient's colon by colonoscopy. You may ask now,
Question.
how can we take care of our gut microbiome? There's an interesting study which compared the changes to the gut microbiome on an increased fiber versus an increased fermented food diet.
Fight!
Participants were told to keep their normal diet, but at the same time increase either the fiber or the fermented food uptake. In contrast to the researchers' hypotheses, the increased fiber uptake did not increase the diversity of the participants' gut microbiome. Participants in the increased fermented food group did, however, have a more diverse gut microbiome on the fermented foods. At the same time, their inflammatory markers decreased. What are key takeaway messages from this study? It seems as if ramping up your fiber uptake alone is not enough to increase your gut microbiome's diversity. The best combination seems to be increasing your fiber and your fermented food uptake. For those who want to try this at home, the participants in the fermented food group were told to eat 6 servings of fermented food. One serving was defined as either 6 ounces of kombucha, kefir, buttermilk or yogurt, or 1/4 of a cup of kimchi, sauerkraut or other fermented vegetables. There's still a lot of research going on, and I'm sure in a couple of years we're all gonna be much smarter about this topic. But for now, these are my 4 tips how to keep a healthy gut microbiome. First, add fermented foods to your diet and do it slowly because otherwise you may risk diarrhea. I also learned recently that canned kimchi or shelf sauerkraut does not contain live microbiomes as they are killed in a production process. So to reap the benefits, you need refrigerated fermented foods or you do it yourself. Second, increase your daily fiber uptake to 25 to 35 grams as you need to give those little critters something literally to chew on. Third, avoid antibiotics. I just know too many people that pop an antibiotic every time they catch a common cold. And as you all know, the common cold is caused by viruses, not bacteria, so the antibiotic will not work. Fourth, avoid processed food items. These are like celebrities with too much makeup on.
Oh, what is on your face? Is that a disguise?
Looking good on the outside, but hiding something nasty on the inside. These are foods that have been altered from the original state for a prolonged shelf life or for convenience. At the same time, they have a lot of added preservatives and additives. There you have it, the so-called gut microbiome, which seems to be responsible for our gut feeling. Thank you very much for watching, and please hit the like button, as you know it will help with the YouTube algorithm. My name is Michael, and I hope I left you smarter than I found you. Till the next time, bye bye.